Y2. Hope all is well, man. Really came on here for us to kind of have a good discussion today. Personally, right now, I feel like this is a critical time in the world for everyone, myself included. You, if you're watching this, it's definitely a time of morality, principles, and understanding and perspective. And I don't want to sound like your teacher in class, a professor or whatsoever, but there seems to be a lot of issues as far as like understanding what's morally right and understanding what's morally wrong. And I say that because what I'm noticing is that on one side there's a group of individuals who have understanding to be able to discern a situation and realize like, no, hey, this situation here is wrong. We're not gonna support that. And then on the other hand of people, you got a group of people who I would say might be the majority, who basically can look at a situation, see that it's morally wrong, and then say, hey, we are gonna support this situation here. This situation's right. The question is, which side are you on? Like, because a lot of people, they don't really understand or get what understanding really is. Understanding is not really you hearing something from someone and you understand it. That's not understanding, man. An example of understanding is I used to do deliveries, right? I was a GoPuff, DoorDash driver. I used to deliver to this guy who lived in a city downtown, but he was a handicapped individual. And he lived in like a sky rise. When I say a sky rise, like one of those big old buildings right there, you feel me? Like, I don't know if y'all see my hand or whatever, but one of those big old buildings down there, sky rise. So usually the guy was always in a good mood. He would usually tip whatsoever when I drop his stuff off. This one morning I went there and he wasn't in the best mood. And when he wasn't in the best mood, he was a little bit rude to me or whatever, and he kind of snatched the bag out of my hand because he said that they had been getting his order wrong, previously, but I wasn't the previous driver. In that moment, it's like, okay, first off, I can't get upset with this guy because I understand his situation. Now, when I say I understand his situation, this individual is in a wheelchair, brother. He literally has to come probably from like the 7th floor all the way down to pick up his groceries that he's ordering through GoPuff, because you can order groceries. It's like DoorDash. There's no telling the environment that or the building or the vibes of him even waiting for the elevator, because the building was like definitely like a low income building. No disrespect. So it's an older white guy, handicapped, wheelchair. So even for him coming down, it's probably like extra, you know what I mean? But when I handed him the order and he was upset, it's like I didn't get mad at him, bro. I understood, like, damn, okay, let me see if I put myself in his perspective and say, like, man, if I was handicapped, I had to come all the way down the stairs to get my order, and my order was wrong, I'd be pissed off too. That's understanding. You know what I'm saying? To be able to put your feelings aside and look at the situation and say, hold on, let me put myself in this person's perspective and see what it would feel like. Now, I only tell you that because I want you guys to get a perspective of what I think understanding is. You're able to ignore your feelings, look at someone's situation and say, like, nah, hold on. Let me put my feelings aside because this person here has a situation I gotta put myself into to understand. Now, with all the stuff that's going on online, Carmelo Anthony, the division on whether it's about race and this and that. This is not about race. This is all about understanding and perspective. First thing you guys have to understand is, like, look, Carmelo Anthony, he could have walked away from this situation if he would have just used his fist. Growing up, I've been jumped before, bruh. And I've been jumped by, I would say, 4 guys. They didn't do too much damage because they wasn't high-uking or boxers, you know what I'm saying? But it was a different experience. Like, damn, I'm fighting 4 people. You feel me? Now, in his situation, he was fighting supposedly 2 brothers. That's a situation where you just take the L. But you can't use a knife to defend yourself and then it be morally right. You get what I'm saying? Now, if those guys had a knife, then the situation could be justified. But because there was no weapon, it can't be morally right. Now, people are trying to make this situation morally right because of race. And that's the wrong perspective, because you gotta see the play at hand, man. The play at hand right now is to get a bunch of people together who have no cognitive thinking, you know what I'm saying? Don't have no understanding. And all they do is they're gonna band together and support things that are morally wrong. Chaos. Like, for instance, forget the Carmelo Anthony situation. There was a situation recently that happened at GameStop. A GameStop worker stabbed a customer in the neck. You could say, "Oh man, this is a different situation," but that situation and the Carmelo Anthony situation are literally weeks apart. So this could be a motivation for him to stab the guy in the neck. You know, some might say, or he could be inspired by this situation. But at the end of the day, it's not about race, because, you know, according to a lot of like non-melanated folks, they say we all act the same. I don't think we all act the same. We don't talk the same. We might have similar cultures. Shout out to Mr. Keep It Simple, but we not all the same. We're different. Just like not every Mexican's the same. Not every Caucasian's the same. Everybody's different. So we kind of have to start morally doing the right things, man. It's not about the masses. You know, and I feel like this is a touchy subject because everyone wants to make it about race. It's not about race. It's about right or wrong. It's about being righteous. It's about looking at a situation and see who was morally right and who was morally wrong. And whenever a weapon is involved, man, nothing can be right unless it's an even playing field. What that means is, if I have a weapon, you should have a weapon. If I use the fist, you gotta use the fist. But sometimes it really doesn't transpire like that, you know? And as people, we gotta be better, bruh. We all as people have to be better, whether you're black, white, yellow, green, blue, whatsoever.